Okay, right, we should be live. Hello to everyone watching on the stream replay and anyone joining us live. Welcome to the stream. This is a bit of Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. This is a Tuesday, you might note, despite the Mario Kart Monday in the title. You're taking double issue, I'm going to presume, with that title, but we'll go over it, I swear. But this is the second attempt at the stream. If you're catching this on the recording, I'm wondering what exactly is going on with that, but and if you're live as well and you're wondering why Monday's in the title, well, there you go. So yeah, we're here live on a bit of a redo of this one because wasn't feeling the best last night, so wanted to push this back to when I was feeling a bit more up to it, and that is about right now, I would say, all being good. So I've changed a couple of things between now and yesterday. In particular, I seem to have got private lobbies working, or private public lobbies. So the big drawback about doing a full-on private lobby session is host picks track and rules and things like that, and it's just not my preferred way of playing. I much prefer public lobbies because of track voting and stuff like that, and the Steam version thankfully has a way built in, so we're going to do exactly that. Welcome, by the way, Jason Awesome Gaming. I'm going to reset my Twitch chat because that is taking a little bit to respond, so 1 second. You'll just see some weirdness on the screen there. Ignore all of that, and we should be back. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna have a private lobby going, so add me on Steam for those of you who don't already have me. Otherwise, you can use the command argument -Viper with a capital V on your game if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, just game join me. That's the easiest way to do it. Just double checking I got all my settings right. Seem to have. Alright, well, with that in mind, I'm going to get the music going, and we're going to get the game started. So, let's get the music. I'm going to have to make sure this is the right volume on my end, because that feels a little loud. I changed the volume settings between now and yesterday, so people could please let me know how we get on with it. That is going to be ideal. Currently, do a couple races, but I'm not working. That's no worries. Sorry about this. This was a really late, last-minute one in the end. I intended to be here much earlier, but I didn't eat until like an hour ago and had to set it up. So here we are. But yeah, I'm gonna get a public lobby open pretty much straight away. So anyone who wants to join, don't game search, join through my Steam profile, basically. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. And we're starting with the same track as yesterday, so already some sort of omen, I guess. By the way, I didn't forget this, so we're going to start with Team Fortress. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good one today. Thanks for dropping by, folks who are here. Hopefully my friend settings are all set correctly. I think they are, so everyone should be okay to get in here. How do I join? So you should be able to join through right-click me on Steam. Oh wait, hang on. You're on sudden moment of realization you're on Steam Deck, aren't you? I can send you an invite and you should be able to join. How do I do that? Oh, you're off the game. Never mind. Hang on. And now my Steam friend tab's completely frozen for some reason. That's weird. No worries, Jamie. Also, welcome to you, Larry and Jason, by the way. Hope you're all doing good. Okay, so there we go. We got one person. I'll chuck Larry the invite, as I will. Jason, and hopefully that works. I know friend invites in this game always were a little bit weird, so I'm going to turn the volume down on my end. Like I said, you're going to have to let me know how it goes as we go on, because I've tried to balance the game audio again, and if that doesn't work, I'll just turn it off and we'll go back to just having pure music like we did last time, so either or. Chuck Jamie the invite as well.
10 seconds to restart.
Otherwise, if you know what you're doing with launch commands, trying to remember the exact command you need to use. Second, PC. Gaming wiki, Sonic Transform. Let me chuck this in the chat. You can also use this as an argument when booting the game from Steam's advanced options, and that'll also just drop you straight in here. Otherwise, yeah, friend joining's way easier. Nintendo really does make this so easy. There we go, we got a couple people in. Unfortunately, as the first race begins, so you'll get a chance to help me volume balance for the time being. Thanks for the first place, pop-up. Thanks, Gabe. It was really earned of me, you know, in this two-player lobby. Okay, looks like we got the squad who are wanting to join up in here for the moment. So, all is good. Yeah, I mean, this isn't necessarily all that easy because I'm doing a hacky workaround. This was only found a couple of years ago, this way to do private public lobbies, because when we were on yesterday, there was just an absolute... it was a catastrophe a little bit in terms of trying to get into a lobby of people who weren't sweaty. We didn't succeed. They were doing like lap skips and stuff to the way the rest of us couldn't finish, so I wanted to make sure we had a bit more of a background lobby going here. I do have some people on my friends list here on Steam who are very good at this game, but they're not the sort who would just casually whip out the those sorts of strats, you know. They would just beat us in a good old fair and square race. So, yeah. But you can still do a hold them behind you thing. I've never really done that in this game all that much, as in, if you get 2 or 3 of an item, just releasing them all at once. I honestly forget you can, but hey, it's a neat little thing. Oh, some good picks so far. I mean, I know Larry's picked Rock Mountain, but still. Still decent picks. Originally, this playlist is actually a very Sonic build because, obvious reasons, yesterday was the 23rd, that's why we were originally doing this, so kind of botched that up a little bit, but I'll be less strict about it now. But the stuff you're going to hear is mostly all, I've just noticed, the song request thing's paused, I'll fix that in a second. I need to play Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom at some point. One day. So yeah, sometimes that happens, it just picks the extended version instead of the normal version, and you just have to give it a manual link. Sorry about that. You know, 2 races, it's just a little bit less nuts than it was previously, but we'll deal with it. Even with 5 races, it will certainly be way less chaotic, but it's nice to get a little bit of a stream lobby going. I just wish there was a way to add TPUs to online races, but also get the reason for not putting them in the worldwides, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I tried to do something random to fix the song request from not working earlier today, so that's why it's now completely failed out. So if I do that, you pick the wrong Water Fox for some reason. So that's really helpful. There we go. I just finished playing MK Worlds. This can go well. We were testing this whole private public lobby thing earlier, and I tried to use A to accelerate, so it wasn't a good start. So I absolutely feel you on that one. Hey, right, we should all be in. I don't know if you guys get track votes, so screw it, Chili Castle for the for the memes. I tried to use Drift to Trick yesterday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did Team Fortress, but I probably should have done it when King was here, so he will get a freebie second Team Fortress game at some point. Right, I have no qualms now with using Aegis, so I'm going to do just that. I've actually not played any Knockout on... No, I've played 2 games of Knockout online, but not any, like, free-for-all knockouts, as in, you know, with randoms, so... I'll have to see how that goes at some point. Got the controls, let's see how this goes. Good luck, Jamie.
10 seconds to race start.
Trick is to hang back until the pack things out. Yeah, because you get, like, really strong items mid-pack in that game as well, so... For goodness sake, don't tell me we're... Okay, it just took ages for the thing to update for some reason. That's really weird. Whatever. It sounded just annoying enough for a second, where I was like, is it just started playing some random song? No. Oh, let me actually click back into the game before I wonder why the controls aren't working. I think this game does have background input, so I probably would have been fine, but, you know, never hurts.
First place.
Yeah, first place like a second because of a split path game. I forgot I'm not very good with balance, so this is basically a thrown away game. Way better with ages with the handling mods. So. We'll throw this one, it's fine. See, I wouldn't have thought dash food would have been that useful in those knockout floors, but I can understand that, actually, with hindsight, because you're probably more likely to, you know, the mushrooms last way longer from memory, but you're probably going to have a better time actually having luck getting dash food versus getting mushrooms or whatever, so yeah, I guess that's a viable strategy. Sure. Is this Team Sonic Racing? Welcome, King. Yep, how did you know? Also, I literally just played Team Fortress the last race, so if you hang around, I'll play them again next race for you, since you're actually here now. Because I meant to refund that last night, but completely forgot, so I was like, oh, I'll actually do that now. Uh-oh. I'm not having an awful race, even in spite of whatever the hell that was when I only flicked the joystick once, but okay. The backwards fire is just yummy and you know it. I knew because that Dreamcast control's the same one I threw out a window years ago, raging at Soul Calibur. Shared experience, okay. Oh. Thank you, Fallen. Unfortunately, this is very much getting drowned out by the game audio, but... oh well. You know what Pictionary sounds like. Oops. Does anyone remember if there's a fix for that whole the game tricks way more than you actually did things? It happened again. Because I feel like I remember reading it with something of like, is it something to do with Steam input maybe? This track. I voted for it, I can't complain, but at the same time, this track. That was on me though. That one was entirely on me. Is it a PC issue? I don't think so. I think it only started happening like a couple years ago. So I wonder if it's like Steam input, because it's expecting a 360 controller or whatever, whether Steam's just doing something funny in the translation or something, I don't know. Is anyone falling out of bounds yet, by the way? Can I have like an update when you all finish as to whether any of you fell out?
Transform boost.
Close. Oh, what a song. Right, I am going to turn off the game audio though, because I am a little tired of trying to balance the game audio for a second day in a row, so I'm going with music. Hope you guys don't mind that. In China TF2 released, they did a blog post yesterday. Really? Anything interesting? We got more comics, so it's got to be something important at this point, right? Surely. Okay. Not an awful first race, all things considered, for having more than one other person in the lobby. Okay. Let's get King's Team Fortress in a second. Should put some stuff in the queue, but I have absolutely no idea what I'd want right now. Speaking of which, exclamation mark SR and then type in the title for a song request. Why is it giving us two of the same three options? Yep. Free thinkers. That's, yeah, exclamation mark SR and then you can just type stuff in and you'll be able to do it from there. Right. Let's see like that. What do I... Team Fortress... I got alright with the balanced one last time, so I'll just go with that. I'm not playing Scotland forever, no. Okay, maybe a little, but no. Nice try. They were good games. But how's everyone doing this evening anyway? I probably already asked that, I forget. But I'm way less forgetful than yesterday, because good lord, I mean, one of the big problems yesterday was I had a coffee a couple hours earlier, and like, we had the conversation the week before, didn't we, about, you know, I like coffee, I like energy drinks or whatever, I'm perfectly used to them. This was just like a random garden centre coffee. One of the most caffeinated things I've ever had. Good lord, I was crashing out. Not just in the anger sense. Mostly in the, like, bouncing off the walls sense. Good lord, like, that really didn't help my mood at all when I couldn't sit still or whatever. Yeah, I was absolutely wired. I couldn't believe it. Like, I've never had anything that strong. I don't know why it was so strong still to this very moment. But regardless, we made it through. But yeah, it certainly didn't help, like, regulate mood and temperature and all sorts of other things yesterday. So I kind of flew off the rail real quick in terms of, yeah, I don't know. Just needed last night to recover, and I'm glad I did, because I was still really excited to do this. Okay. We've had it already? We've transformed already? No! I'm the one who told you to install all this stuff! And I've already transformed. God damn it. That was a water crash as well. That's what that's meant to actually fix. 1 second. Let me see. Right here. What am I looking for? The next week. Let me see if there's a new update. Oh! So it actually wants the 32-bit version, I'm just noticing. I recommended everyone get the 64-bit version. Let's double check and see if that fixes it for me before we get into any more lobbies. We specifically want DirectX 3D 9, right? Yes. Let's open the game real quick. Manage, browse file. Sorry, this is really boring. I'm aware it's really boring. Is it all of those that want to go? Yeah. So I specifically just want D3D9. Right. Let's open the game. I'm going to go back to the same area on Transform Zone just to verify it doesn't happen again. Why is it infamous for crashing? Mainly, new graphics card have issues rendering the water section. That's my understanding of what caused that and what causes most of this game's crashes and issues. Also, you get to enjoy that weirdness because I have a I have a menu skip mod installed, and for some reason it just renders that random object in the background, so you get to see it. Right, anyway, career mode, single race. One of the greatest unboxing moments ever. As a reason I had to save that, for sure. Right, carrier zone. We'll give the fans what they want and go Team Fortress 2 again for a second. If this works, I'm going to have to revise those setup instructions for everyone, annoyingly. Mainly, in this case, Jamie. If you still got that file installed. But we'll see how this goes. So, give me a second for me to land on the water and see if this all just absolutely just pew pew explodes. Sorry about this. Transformed is a game that loves gaming. Hey, Steam Deck has all these things built in, so you know, just a little Steam Deck advert for you there. It has all these fixes built in. If only Windows was so nice, eh? We shall see. Or Linux. I mean, technically, yes. It's a bit less plug and play than Steam Deck, though. What's the issue? It's relating to the water here. That fixed it. Right, so that's fine. Too busy racing. So, Jamie, that DVXK file I got you to install, go back to the settings and install that. Or go back to the settings and grab that. But grab 32-bit instead? Hang on. Shouldn't do this, but I'll just chuck it to people on Discord manually. 1 second. So delete all of the DLLs that are in your transformed folder. And I can't send DLLs on Discord. That's really cool. Thank you, Discord. Yes. Yeah, Discord actually has protection against that. That's probably really sensible to not download random ones that people send you off the internet, but at the same time, in this one instance, that's really annoying. I'll replace that. Actually, I'll do that right now. I'll replace that in the instructions so no one else has any issues with it. Should we do this in the future and I forget? Yeah. Coming on for a moment to sort this, no worries. Okay, so I've now fixed that on the Discord settings, so we should be good to try this again. Anyone who's on Steam Deck shouldn't have the issue. Should be all good to rejoin, basically. That new Xbox ROG been looking mighty fun. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I always thought the Steam Deck / original ROG layout was already pretty comfy enough, so I'm not sure, like, did we... Oh, some people still actually made it through the lobby. Okay. I thought if host left that the entire thing exploded. This game's more sensible than something like Mario Kart 8, for example. Yeah, I had no idea. By the way, this is the greatest advertisement for the Steam Deck I've ever seen. You can tell who was on one and who wasn't at that very moment in time. But it's fine, we're gonna wait for people to, like, filter back through anyway, so no real rush. You invite me back in, please? Sure. Like I said, you should just be able to game join me as well. You shouldn't need the invite as such, but I'm happy to do it anyway. Granted, for what I'd play, it would be fine, but still years old, better than my actual PC rig anyway. But yeah, for situations like that, and especially if you don't want to have the hassle of, like, manually installing games to SteamOS, it's fine, but, like, SteamOS is so simple nowadays anyway, and as you can see, works way better with legacy games as a whole, full stop. Like, yeah, it's still a little daunting, I guess, but at the same time, like, hey, great advertisement happening right up here for people who are actually in this game. What GPU have I got currently? 3070 standard. I originally wanted to upgrade to a 3070 Ti, but this was mid the graphics card, not plague, what's the word? The great drought of graphics card, basically. So I paid like 800 for this when it's like a 400 cost normally, so as a result, I didn't feel like springing for the Ti. Nowadays, I'd probably be more willing to go Team AMD on my graphics card as well, honestly, because Nvidia's just getting pricier for not much more, because, you know, AI instead of AMD, who are actually like graphics, you know? Like, I feel like more meaningful change is being made by one of the two companies right now, and it's not the green one. Yeah, I remember the scalping until they made it illegal. Yeah, it was... I should have just waited, but at the time there was a couple of things coming out that I wanted to play, and I... Put it this way, I knew I probably wasn't going to have a job for much longer, so I just bit the bullet on it and did it when I did. From AMD's, the drivers had a few friends who had issues on their fans. I think mostly better nowadays. I've heard nothing but good things about the more recent cards. So welcome, Gabsy. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for dropping by. We are currently trying to play and struggling with Sonic Transformed. It is one of the PC ports of all time. It was good back in the day. It's just deteriorated over the last 15 years a tiny little bit, but hey, we seem to have it working as far as I can tell now, so fingers crossed this keeps working. I'm gonna double check. I'm guessing Jason went off the game. Seemingly, yes. Okay. That's unfortunate. It was good back in the day. Crashing was a feature. That was your 360 version, Jamie. Get it right. Yeah, that is true, King. But the inverse point, I would say, is Nvidia's getting a lot better because of stuff like Linux has always had better AMD support than Nvidia, so part of that is, hey, if you want good compatibility with the Steam Deck, companies are kind of being forced to get better at AMD stuff because, well, AMD chipset in that thing, I think it's AMD in the ROG as well, isn't it, from memory, so stuff is starting to get better. I'll let you know my Vita version has never crashed. Right, look, I'm gonna let you guys into a little secret right now, right? I'm gonna fire up my Vita while we wait for this to go. If only the Vita was a bit quicker to power on, you'd actually be able to see me play this. Right, come on, Vita. I should have thought of this. This would have been brilliant content. 1 second. Come on, run. Okay, transformed. Let's go. Sorry, Sonic Transformed. I much prefer Sonic Transformed instead. Come on. Activate and activate. There we go, look at that! Unfortunately now, just as I did that, actual Transformed is now working again, so I'm going to choose my character. I'm choosing Team Fortress again, just for the redeem. How did the Wii U version run? It was very buggy on launch, but I think was okay eventually. There we go. Can we get a little quick race going before before the actual game starts? I just have my Vita plugged in to charge anyway, so if you ever hacked Vita, there's a nice convenient little plug-in that Sony left in the console, which is basically, for whatever reason, Sony have a video output built into the Vita. There's just a line that does that. So if you just have a normal USB, it just acts as a USB video camera. So this is just, for all intents and purposes, a webcam. No, all models can do this as long as you hack them. So look, I've still got 0 seconds. We're in the loading screen now, so I should really get a move on with this. But as you can see, transformed on Vita. Alright, PC. There we go. You know, all models, including 2000s with, you know, they have micro USBs, so it's even less of a hassle to plug them into your PC. It's really cool because the PSP, people forget, it's like, oh yeah, no, you can plug the PSP into a TV, you use the component cables or whatever. Which is true, but all PSPs had video output for the USB port as well, for development purposes, so even on models that didn't have that, like the 1000 didn't have the component stuff, you could actually still use it to get video out. And, well, for some reason they just did the exact same on the Vita, so there you go. Nice convenient way to capture a Vita without a PSTV. Just plug it into a USB and it's good to go. Yeah, more than likely. By the way, boat time. I like how they looked at this and went, yeah, we're gonna do this again, and then we're gonna make the entire game about this. Welcome back, Sonic Crossworlds. Oops. Whoa. A little bit choppy there. I mean, a little bit, very choppy, let's admit that. Seen the picture going around the PSP GPS in Japan? I have not, but my first instinct is, didn't everywhere have the PSP GPS? I don't think that was a Japan-only thing. I know America at least had it. Or is there something in particular about the thing that people are talking about? By the way, bonus points here, I really love that they got rid of the map system, I'm guessing, because it got confused, much like Yoshi Valley in Mario Kart 64, for example. The Wii U version has a perfectly functioning map screen. So it says jammed on the TV, and then you still get a really nice looking map on the gamepad. I don't know why they couldn't have worked whatever technology was doing that into this map system and made this work, but each to their own, I guess. You know, we all run out of time somewhere to fix these sort of things. I just sort of meant that someone was using it still. Oh, I didn't see that. That is incredibly funny. I mean, it's probably, minus lack of updates, still a solid GPS, right? I'd assume. just, yeah, a lot of roads that... You're on a lot of invisible roads if you're going on any carriageway built in the last 10 years or whatever, right? At least I assume so. Oop. But this controls very differently to how I expected it to. Because, you know, different stats between characters and all that. By the way, good request, Jamie. Very different from the rest of the vibe tonight, I imagine, but still, can't beat Hubbard. You could update the maps with the SD card. Do people still make update maps for them? I've never, unsurprisingly, really looked into it, because I've never had a need to, but, you know, always road tripping. Gone is Waze and Google Maps. Long live the PSP. Alright, not going too bad so far. Or Sanshiro flying around on his missile. That could be a good car moment. Oh yeah, let me bring out the good navigation. None of that cheap shit. Whoa. Like the Sony PSP guiders. Oh, now you're talking. Take a quick selfie on the PSP camera. Life could be this great. Via PSP. Where's PSP located then? I still always get anxious on this water section because I always do that and flip the wrong way, even though there's some huge waves here. But this is significantly faster than the plain way, so you should always pick it for the most part if you just want to get this track over and done with, or you know, you want to go fast or whatever. Like that's the way to do it. Great. It's fine, we're still moving forward. Not the swab. Not the Sky Tigers. Uh-oh. That's fine, we might be quick enough. That firework, though, was incredibly close. Oh, back to back. Goodness. Angel Island remix I've not heard for so long. The fact that this is still the only original Sonic song in Smash is nuts to me, but I get it all the same. But hey, now that Sakurai has played more than 2 Sonic games, there's a chance. There's a chance that someone on the Smash team goes, hey, can you add some Frontiers, please? And then we actually have a chance for new music, if a new one ever happens, you know. Because I think that was always theorized to be the big problem. When you've only played 1 and 06, you're probably not going to make a very good character with very many remixes. Oh, man. The whole 10 minutes thing's really annoying. Why does it keep finding loops? I mean... What you mean? Oh, you mean as in a selectable song? Yeah, it does. I was more thinking of, is the 06? Is the 06 victory theme still Sonic's victory theme in Ultimate? I honestly can't remember. That was a really fitting one, though. Like, if you're gonna pick any, it wasn't bad, to be completely honest with you. Hey, there we go. Thanks, Laura. Here we are. Look familiar? Good racing tune? Oh, I know. That's why it was in so many of these racing games. I mean, you can't fault them for it. Yeah, I should have gone that way. I should have followed in Larry's footsteps there, but I was like, eh. I don't feel like risking it all. There we go. That's the ages I know and love. It's the handling mod. I forgot which one of the two it was, if it was balance or handling that I always used. While Cross Worlds comes out, am I going to do something similar to what I did to the Mario Kart series? I don't know about that, but I was talking about it in the Discord today, because the idea did actually come to me today. I've been threatening to play through Transform 3DS on stream since I did All-Stars Racing DS back in, like, January. I'm a little tempted to do that, like, even next month or the month after, because that'll probably take, like, a couple weeks to do World Tour and the Grand Prix and stuff, but... yeah, I've been a little tempted to do that, certainly. So, we'll see what goes on with that, but... Certainly, I'd like to do some stuff with the racing games, if not just more lobbies of this and the other one, All-Stars Racing. And maybe even All-Stars Racing DS, if we can get people into Wienfire for it, you know? You know, I'd certainly like to do more of them, for sure. That's what I said, that's why it's became MK Mondays rather than Mario Kart Mondays, so I can be a bit more ambiguous with it, because, hey, they're all kart races. They're all fun, you know, so why gatekeep playing them? If I feel like playing Transformed on a Monday, I feel like playing Transformed, you know. ASL's always a good time as well, indeed, and plenty of others as well that we could get to one day. I mean, we used to play Rocket League all the time on Mario Kart Mondays, didn't we, for example? I think I actually have a thumbnail made for that in this format from like 4 or 5 years ago whenever we started doing this, so... You know, it's certainly... Like, there's options. There's always been options, but... More than ever, there's options, you know. Rocket League actually got a new season recently. How long has it been since the last one? I was going to say, it's been years, hasn't it? That's good. I still can't think of anything to request, by the way. Screw it. This is a really random pick.
Fly, your warriors, fly. Fly, your warriors,
Really?
fly. Spread your wings and take off to the
There we go. Sometimes it just... You just have to search for both.
Fly, your warriors.
I'm assuming this is, what's it called? Yar's Revenge, right? Oh, I can just see Yar Warriors, yes. It's very small on my screen. Why won't vote for mid? What, this track? Mid? You out your mind?
Fly, your warriors, fly.
Oh, right, that's really cool.
Your warriors, fly. Spread your
This mic
wings and
seems
take
really
off
warm for some reason. I don't know why, because I'm not sure what this game is doing to warrant it, but okay. I have no idea what that song is. I'm not sure whether I should be scared or not. Maybe the vent hole was a bit more covered than I thought it was. Goodbye stream audio, just while we're recording then.
The code tells something and it's time to pay them back. Attack, your warriors, attack.
That's a good skate tune, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but I love this track. This track's great. One of my favourites of the bunch. Like, there's a fair few I'd rather not play than this, you know?
Then to live a slave.
Basically anything that has excessive plane. In brackets.
Fly, your warriors, fly. Fly, your warriors.
The water section gets gets tight. We've already played Billy Hatcher, like, anything's better than that, you know? I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about the water section. I'd worry about the car section. I didn't even know you could still do that. I knew you could do very similar stuff when the game launched, but... Interesting. This game's physics are a suggestion sometimes, okay, and when you skip those transform sections, the game just doesn't know what to do. You used to, on the very first patch of the game, be able to just go really slow through them, and then the transform wouldn't register, and you could basically do the same thing, just with way less speed, so you just kind of bobbed there. Ooh! I don't know what PC-88 sounds like, but still, I'm a little surprised. I don't know, I'm playing catch-up with the rest of this game. That is unfortunately how Transform goes a little bit, which... That recent statement that they've been, like, culling the items a little bit in Crossworlds. Having played it myself, I definitely now notice it coming back to this game that, like, yeah, I guess there is a lot more balance to the items in that game versus these first two for sure, because this one in particular is so easy like this just to get really far behind. When I'm playing Shogun, when some rings get spent, okay? Otherwise, I'm parking my ass firmly on Aegis here, you know? Multi-flip. Too bad it's not going to do much for me here. So, isn't it logged to one race per character again? Yes, it is. Thank God PSR and now Crossworlds get rid of that. Because the amount of like, I think Shadow, unsurprisingly, was the most popular character when I played online, but the amount of repeats I saw was, like, incredible. It makes you wonder why they did it like this in these two games, because it's, like, really the one flaw I have. Because everyone goes for Aegis, because Aegis is the best character in a lot of situations. It's, like, really situational based on track. Quite often, weight's really good, like it is in TSR. So, you will notice a lot of people flock to, like, Wreck-It Ralph and stuff, but Aegis and Rio and Metal Sonic are all really good as well. So there's certain tracks they're better on than others, like time trial switches between characters quite a lot, which I always think is really cool in these sorts of instances. Is that the one? No, I'm guessing that's not the one, right? I'm gonna just preemptively delete that. What we got? Why did my one not go in? Oh, for goodness sake. I put a thing in the queue and it's not there. Fine. I'll find it manually. Right, you'll better vote for Pete after that. Come on. Get in there. No, it's not letting me vote! Okay, it did let me vote, I'm fine. Where's my queue? Chuck it in the queue. Bam, there we go, finally. Where's my Fist of the North Star track? What, in this game? It could happen. Right, character, before I get to... Damn you all, I take my eyes off the screen for 2 seconds. I can't trust your taste in tracks. Ugh, it's disgustingly warm in here all of a sudden. Like I said, I don't know why my PC is running so hot. It's a clear indication probably that it's about time for a dust out of the grills, so I should probably do that before doing anything else too intensive on it over the next couple of days. Also, why did the... Oh, right. I know why I broke it. There you go. Fixed. Oh, that one. Right. Yeah, like you said, King, it definitely said mine was queued in position, and then I looked in there and it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, the one you wanted is on YouTube? Really? That's interesting. Blowfish time. Alright. Come on, let's actually play catch up this time. not gonna languish this whole race. I've got home turf advantage or something. Okay. Thought I was gonna crash a little bit harder than I did. Oh, that feels like cheating. But okay. Let me put this in a language you can understand. Well, is that game coming out this year, the Killer Bean game? I feel like I remember seeing a release date trailer for it, or at least a release quarter window, and I felt like it was ages ago at this point. I've got to double check on Steam after this. Asking the real important questions, you know? Double check as well how long this is, because I get the feeling it won't hit the 30-minute limit, but it might be hitting the 10-minute limit at this rate. Oh, it's still got 2 minutes left. Yeah, it might be getting a skip if it's still going by the end of the race. I love Space Harrier, but how many loops has this been now? One-man project, Jeff can do it all. He really can. He's got problems. He does way too much work on his own, you know? Why have I just suddenly started slowing down? At least I just felt really slow all of a sudden. I don't know whether I was or not. No one really seemed to be catching me all that fast. Everything just suddenly felt like it slowed to a crawl, you know? Anyways. So far so good. Game's not like hitting me with any huge catch-up items or anything, so I might be able to sneak this one through, you know? I think we're good. I say that, and then the Sky Tigers arrive. Oh, we got 53 sound. I'm sorry, Larry. I don't think I have a manual skip button, so we're just gonna skip right to the end of the song, I guess. I will drag mine up into the position it was in, which is, I think, there? Maybe. That's my last race. No worries. I appreciate it. It's already getting late. Realistically, Jamie, it's probably a lower speed setting than normal. My Discord's completely broken. That's good. That's really good.
You bet, egghead. Nothing can stop the power team. Let's go, guys. We will go and pursuing.
Knuckles, what in the heck are you doing?
Yeah, basically, difficulty of AI syncs up to speed of what's... Oh, I can't think of the name. Basically, speed of the game, right? So, I don't know what the default is for online, TBH. What are you listening to? Bit of Seaside Denied? For some reason. Bit weird to talk over, but hey.
Worthless. Consumer models. Annihilate.
Throwback to what? 15 years ago again. Didn't we already technically have a bit of Seaside Hill in terms of not the stage, I'm talking the music as well. Right. Now, Discord, are you gonna actually let me do anything? When you didn't care as much for Sonic, I mean... Good decision. Can't deny. Must have been blissful. I have no idea what that is, so I'm curious to hear what it is for sure. Oh, did you go metal just for the, once again, the home turf advantage, except this time a bit more fitting. I only got back into the franchise after I left school. That Yeah, that tracks with a lot of people, to be fair. What's that? What's the word? The coast is clear. That's it.
Make sure they're hermits.
Listen, all you morons, Chuckle's gone. Someone feed them. That fat cat's holding us back. Yo, in my opinion, we should leave him.
Alright. Once again, I should get like a little bit of a boost here, you know. Too sadly obsessed with the first game, so that it should pay off.
What use is that?
I'm gonna eat it whole.
My error's the one with you. Yeah, your error? Our error, TM.
Sure are tight. I'll try, can't guarantee.
Alright, it's peak again now or something. Nature's healed. We did our time so they could live free, you know? I'm a little sad they got rid of the jumps at the beginning here.
You think Sonic would finally take some...
Oh, I forgot there's just a weird outro on this song.
Team Chaotix just isn't what it used to be.
Can't remember the last time I seriously sat down and listened to the full thing and not just heard like a minute and went, right, that's enough. Good memories. See you again in 5 years, guys.
A lot. Amy Rose, on the other hand, is the cat's meow, isn't she?
I honestly don't know what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Isn't Casino Calamity this year, or did it already happen for like the anniversary or something? I know they announced when we were at FanFest that
You know what?
it was gonna be
I think
it was
this
gonna be
needs a
back.
little more-
After how many years ago did they announce that thing? I feel like it was at least 2013, if not 14, right?
Much better.
Nice little swarm evasion there. Alright, come on. Okay, there we go, finally. Block that from my memory. They turn up at all the events now, I think. Hey, we're gonna hear it. How many more days is it? Is it like two or 3 days? We're gonna hear what FanFest 26 is, so, you know, rev up those fryers is all I'm saying, King. Rev up that group chat. Because I am hungry for some non-London based shenanigans. I think they already said it's not going to be London. Which, yeah, fair play. It's nice to go somewhere else for a change. I was only there on Sunday, as people will already be aware, so less things to have planned there, because they've already got Sonic Con in November and probably some other bits. London is money, that too. I can't remember, they got rid of Ristar on this track, I want to say, right? Oh, it's invisible today, you can't even go over there anyway. Oh, you think Sonic Con needed so much? Good point. It'd be nice to see wherever that ends up for sure. Sorry for the fireworks spam. This is a weird little song, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed this entire game, but this is the one I remember from the game. Decent soundtrack, though. They're going to have a straight-up battle, though, to try and take fans from Sonic Con, or at least merge them over. I know they do smaller events, etc., but how they're going to try and promote the event they are attempting to grow. It's tough, especially when you take time away from these things and new things crop up, but I don't feel like it instinctively has to be territorial unless people want to make it territorial, you know, like... There'll be plenty of fans who go, oh, I only have the appetite for one a year, but there'll be significantly more who go, no, I just want to see anything flourish or whatever, you know, I just want to see people or go to conventions, therefore I'm perfectly happy with anything. And I'm definitely in that boat, so. And I know a lot of other people are as well, just want to see more is better to many, so. It'll just be interesting to see how they do it, for sure. Time will tell on that one. Because, you know, until at least one of them happens, it'll be a little difficult to know for definite. Yeah, that's it. They did a lot very quickly, for sure. Yeah, I know this is getting muted, so we just gotta hope the YouTube gods are kind to me and I get away with giving them money instead of the video getting deleted or whatever. Hey, giving them the ad revenue that I'm not making anyway. That sounds good by me. Good tune, pretty good so far. I don't think it quite fits on Burning Rangers as well as the original song here does, but each their own. Anyone want to chuck it in the queues? Not already got loads of requests in there. So Callum went to the Axe Machine in Japan. I saw that as well. I didn't quite know what it was, but I know he went to Kabukicho today. Which, if you're, I don't know why you'd end your experience in Japan there, considering it's probably, of all the places he went, the highest likelihood to go wrong out of any of them. He's like, yeah, let's just finish off here. What could go wrong when in Rome? Despite when Gaiden came out, all of the renders he showed me were of Yakuza 6, so I was a little baffled. But, you know, each their own. I not only went to Kabukicho, I went to Kabukicho at night, which also feels like a very inspired choice. Everyone I know who's been there is like, have a guide handy if you go at night, because one misstep is not great. So he was just like, no, I'll just head out. Fair enough. Respect. Seems to have made the experience. As long as my my Puyo Puyo copy comes back intact, I'm fine. Like, that's all I need out of this transaction. So just make it back alive. Godspeed, soldier. I'm slightly kidding. It's usually people trying to drag you into places and do the scam. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I've never actually beaten Echo there. That's really fun. There wasn't a way you could do that. I thought it was scripted, so you were always a certain distance from it. I should have held my boost a bit longer there. That was fine. Managed it. Okay, all in all, not awful race. I know this track's general consensus is there's too many tight corridors and it's too twisty and turny, but I love the twisty and turny bits of Transform personally. I've always been very outspoken about the fact that my favourite bits in Transformed and TSR are like going round really tight corners, because I don't think these games have like as good a you know, like drifting, boost, charging system, etc. as something like Mario Kart. So I think where therefore this game really stands out is, you know, you're not constantly playing for boosts or whatever, you're constantly playing to take a tight corner or whatever. That's what's actually saving you more time than holding boost. To where I've always thought that's these games' strong suits. So when you have a level like this, I understand it will be really divisive, but I also just think it's a lot of fun when you go through, you know where you're going in particular, and you can just kind of like go through all those chicanes. Like you say, it is exactly the Outrun DNA that's still in here for sure. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of those sorts of levels, and I wish PSR leaned a bit more into them than it does, because this game certainly has its fair share of them, and PSR has moments where I think they're going to do it, which, you know, that's always been the most interesting part of the car segments to me. The boat has its own different set of fun bits, and I don't like the plane that much. The plane has its fun bits as well. Right, speaking of plane, I'll be nice, because people already played Dream Valley. You mentioned that Puyo game, is it even rare over there? Not as far as I'm aware, just expensive over here, because people just scalp it. It's not, as I said, not even rare, just people think they can get, what's the words? You know, if it's something you can't easily get your hands on, then they can just bottleneck the price of it or whatever. For someone at a certain point in the supply chain, I guess. So, well, what are you going to do? Go and get this elsewhere? Well, most people know, so you're going to pay me the premium for it. Whereas, well, I paid £6 to Callum versus I've seen Period 20th Anniversary on Wii, which is what I got, go for like 30 quid, even on Japanese eBay, let alone UK eBay. Yeah, things are nuts, and as is exchange rate, so it works out nicely in like our one particular case. Not one of my favourite stages, but music's good. Too bad I can't hear it, but music and visuals are really nice. Shenmue 3, how imaginary. couldn't be Rio, right? Freedom Wars for £2, I know, that is insane. Persona 4 Golden, I'm pretty sure, is only Japanese on Cartlo, right? So that's exclusively a shelf piece at that point, which I assumed it was anyway, but, you know, well, knowing, I guess. See, I never play as Rio despite the cool outrun machine, so now's my chance. I have the cart. Wait, was the Persona for you, or was that for him? I can't remember. Western release? Yeah. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense why I'm saying I guess, so I probably should have elaborated a bit more there, but eh. The unfortunate thing about this game is because it's designed for like 720p and lower on consoles, there is just like so much, I don't quite remember the proper term, like, just like dithering and stuff. Like, you look at Rio's screen sometimes and like, you can barely make out the texture, like right now, look how much dithering there is, good lord. It's a real shame. This game could look really beautiful, but because it's just not designed for the resolutions it's now being displayed at, it just looks really crusty, unfortunately. I wish it looked so much better than it did. Got it back from Amazon back when it wasn't expensive. Weirdly, this has reminded me, because recently, with me playing Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, I've been a little bit tempted to go back to 1 and 2, but as in actual 1 and 2 this time, as opposed to the re-releases or whatever have you. So I have Yakuza 1 on PS2, that's not a problem. I didn't realise, like, last time I looked, Yakuza 2 was 70 to 80. It's now over 100, and that's only been in the course of 6 months. Maybe a stream. But yeah, that's in the course of 6 months, it's gone to over 100. The American copy is still relatively very cheap because of the reprints that happened like circa 2017. So you can still get a brand new sealed copy of that game for like 30 quid as long as you get some sort of postage system going, which I'm considering doing because I want to pick up a couple other bits from America now that the tariffs have slightly calmed down and, you know, before everything explodes, so I'm trying to figure that out, but very possibly just going to pick up an American copy at that point, especially since it's compatible way better with the, I can't remember what it's called, like retranslated mod or whatever it is, that just fixes up certain parts of the game. Not as excessively as the retranslation of 1 does, unsurprisingly, but it's a pretty good deal from what I've seen, so definitely would want to play that, and therefore that is an American patch, unsurprisingly, so that'll be the best way to actually play it, because it's not compatible with European versions, so it's like, well, that's a double whammy. Even if I paid full whack shipping on that, that's still cheaper than getting it from the UK, so I guess at some point I'll pull the trigger on it. Did 2 ever get properly fixed on emulator? Honestly, don't know. PS2 is just such a pain, but especially with those 2 games, that I kind of just ignore it. Let's have a little bit of
This here is Mona Pizza. Makers of the
rhymes, absolutely.
fresh sauce and cheese galore.
Is this the original? I'm not quite sure.
Straight to your front door.
Can't tell if it is or a cover. I'll have to look in a second. A bit more expensive than Dead Cells? Yes. Especially since, at least, This is DS apparently, according to the video. What was I saying? Yeah, at least with Dead Cells you have the option of getting it digital. I think people just seem to forget that. Like, it's a pain. You have to put the credit in on a PS4 or PS5, but it regularly goes down to £5. And there you go, it's a nice legal copy of the game. I know it doesn't fit your Instagram physical Yakuza collection posts or whatever, but it is a perfectly reasonable way to get the game. That's how I got it before I managed to get my physical, which I definitely only paid £5 for. But yeah, like, I don't know. Even discounting that and just counting the physical version of Yakuza Dead Souls, like, even still in that situation, I think Dead Souls is still cheaper. It's also more, so you have to... But I'm pretty sure Yakuza Dead Souls on disc makes you install the game to the hard drive, if memory serves. I've not actually played it from disc ever, but certainly Yakuza 3, 4, and, well, 5 overseas did that. So, you know, there's precedent for it to do it. I've never actually seen the install screen, but I would run on the assumption that it has to be installed to the hard drive anyway, so... Oh, this is mirror mode. I didn't pay attention to that bit. I somehow got through, like, the first couple turns without really cottoning on. This will still carry about 8 gig a day, I guess, but... Most PS3 hard drives like 60 gig. I think the game's well below that. I think it's only like 20. You know, that was the minimum hard drive spec on PS3 from my memory. So I don't think that should be too much of an issue. What is this, by the way, hello? I've never heard of it. So, and I'm not immediately recognizing it from the song without seeing the video. Oh, I thought I got the All-Star. Nope. It was just right in front of me. I saw the icon. Had 40. Even still, that was still complements my point, right? Huh. This is really good. I'm guessing the rest of the soundtrack's this good then, at least in your personal, humble opinion. PS3 has 3, 4, and 5 on it. Yeah. And they are some hard drive space heavy old games as well, so if you already had all those, then I can kind of get it. Flow State 2D platformer, you've instantly sold me, and the word Flow State, so doesn't take much more convincing than that. Yeah, I remember you talking about the game, so it was at least on my radar, but I couldn't quite remember the specifics of it. What is this? Oh! Oh? Oh, it's an intro song. I was like, this doesn't sound like Ice Cab. You play as an acrobat. Once again, whenever I get this, it's like moments away from being in first, so it feels very cheeky. Low guy, you can throw in 8 directions to enemies or bounce off of. Is there a demo for it at a Sage or something? Because I feel like I've played that game. Pepper Lagoon on crack. That is a game that I've not played enough of, however, one day. And those Bomb Rush songs get the groove on. Song requests. I can get some on in a sec though. I have only one song in the queue, so I can get the second one on. I need to mess with the Ultrafix more. I know we said we were going to do Sonic Origins mission mode still at some point, so that should have been yesterday's stream. God damn. Why am I thinking of these things now? But yeah, I don't know. Well, that was an incredible dodge. That's clip worthy. Look, that was cinema. Yeah, no. Why am I thinking about this now? What do I want from Bomb Rush? I don't want anything too of the obvious stuff, you know? I can't remember how you spell it off the top of my head. Is it like that? Nope. Oh, it's with you, right? I think this is the song I'm thinking of. Really? I don't think that's that far off the spelling. Come on, just give it to me at that point. We've had all three of these. Thanks, Track Selector. Third tries the charm, I guess. That's like 700 things attached to the end of that. I want that. There we go. I think that's the song I'm thinking of, but I'm not like 100% on that, so we'll see. Anyway, Football Manager when in doubt. When in doubt, bring the goat out. I've just noticed, I've just opened my phone, King's message of still one of the greatest unboxing moments I've ever seen. I can't escape this video. How long has this got left? Is that 3 minutes I just read? Good lord. They weren't kidding when this was a 12-inch mix. It's just peak cinema. The timing, the framing, the noir lighting. I mean, what more was there to not love about that video, you know? And then we did the real unboxing. It was nowhere near as funny. I think I played Diva after that as well. Like, I think the rest of the stream was just me rhythm gaming because I was like, I don't know what to do. I expected to play Game Gear Micro for the rest of the night, so okay, I guess Diva will do. I'm playing as a game that didn't even come out last year, I know. Repping a dead brand. It's not dead, but they are doing more non-Football Manager stuff, aren't they? There's like Sega's... It's like... Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I saw it on Steam the other day. It's going to be free to play by the Football Manager team. It's Sega something something something. Sega and then 3 words to do with football after it, and it's like a bit... It's not arcadey, but more arcadey than your standard Football Manager game, you know? Did I just apologize for it online? Basically, in the shareholder meeting, didn't look too hot on this year's Sega annual report, from what I remember. They're like, that's a chunk of money. Bring back Virtua Striker, imagine though. Life could be but a dream. Great. Oh wait, what do you mean? Did I apologize for it online? You mean the lack of stuff in the box? I don't think I ever got any apology for it. I think if I remember correctly, it was PlayAsia. I know, I definitely remember it was PlayAsia because I don't really like PlayAsia at the best of times. They were like the one option I had. It was the middle of a brand new COVID lockdown because this was October, November 2020, so... yeah, it would have just started again, so it was already a pain to get stuff in anyway. And then they were like, oh, there was a manufacturing defect or something. So I did check my email, and it went to junk, and it was like, we're only going to send you the initial box. Which, had I read, I would have been a little peeved about still, but you would assume it'd be fine, and like, I guess it mostly was, but the thing that peeved me off about it was I think I still had to pay an import fee on the box, which, like, any decent company would waive that fee, knowing that I then had to pay, so I had to pay £60 for that box for reference. Because the Game Gear Micros were declared as more on the customs and were still in a similar size generic box, I'm pretty sure I had to pay the same amount. So I think I paid £120 for customs on those damn things across 2 different boxes, one of which was empty except for some fridge magnets. I don't even think they're fridge magnets, I think they're badges. I paid 60 quid to import a fucking box. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig out the receipts for this. I definitely paid 60 quid for just a cardboard box. That made it even worse. Family Guy CD OST. Right, good stream everyone, thank you. They listen to my Yakuza watch I got years ago. PlayAsia are just nuts. I don't like PlayAsia very much. I'm not going to massively watch what I say out of fear or anything. PlayAsia are one of those companies that kind of like to... Like, around the same time in COVID, there was a Miku t-shirt that I now own, but I looked at on PlayAsia because they were like, we have an exclusive Miku line or whatever. So I was like, okay, I looked at the shirt. The second it was in your basket, they used tactics to pressure you into like, oh, when it's in your basket you can't remove it. You've got to pay for it when it's in your basket. So you can't even add it just to check shipping fees or whatever, because they would pressure you into paying the fee. And I'm not talking like just strong words or whatever, like I'm pretty sure there was this whole process. I'm just enjoying the chat. But yeah, I think there was like... I don't know, I ended up paying the shirt. I don't think I bothered trying to fight them on it. I was just like, whatever. And I know I own the shirt. It's a nice shirt, but I don't think it was like a 40 quid shirt or whatever I paid in the end for it. But yeah, PlayAsia are never particularly great for that sort of thing anyway, and those 2 times that year when everyone else was being like really courteous and, you know, even despite all the shipping challenges and stuff trying to be helpful, they just rinsed me that year. And I was like, I already didn't like using them anyway. I already used AmiAmi for stuff like that where possible, and, you know, like bespoke shipping sites and stuff. That was the year I was like, no, I'm good. No more of them. And I just, especially, I think Amazon Japan that year started, 2019, 2020 was when they started becoming a bit more friendly about overseas imports and stuff. I think that's the first year you could order without proxy from them and stuff, so after that point I kind of stopped CD Japan and PlayAsia and all those sorts of sites. CD Japan, by the way, I only ever had good experiences with. Occasionally they'd forget to pay the customs fee, but it's never too big a deal. Yeah, like, there was a certain point where, once Amazon Japan kind of picked up doing stuff like that, it was just Amazon Japan, and nowadays it's, Suragaya free shipping days, you know? That's the goat round here. We don't disrespect them. Here we go. Wrong stage, but we'll move. Yeah, no, that experience was a trip for sure. I'd honestly forgotten all about it. Not entirely, like, it popped into my mind whenever I found one of the Game Gears or whatever, but like, I'd forgotten the extent of it until I was doing the Twitch VOD sorting like everyone was a couple months ago, and I was like, oh yeah. I hadn't watched this clip for years. I watched it again and I was like, oh yeah, this was a right wind-up, wasn't it? World Shopping it was under, they were fine. Like, most places are. Just PlayAsia are just particularly, like, uppity about it sometimes, I think. Like, they had, like, loads of just random fees because they feel like it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mostly all but stopped using them. Even gift cards, I normally recommend people gift cards through them or whatever, but I even stopped doing that. Mostly because Amazon Japan doesn't add any fees on top or whatever, so if you can figure that out, which basically is making a primary address and stuff like that a Japanese location, if you can figure all that out, then you're able to buy digital goods from them, and just make it way cheaper. And case in point, absolutely like zero, hey, we're selling this to you, smile payments added on top of the card, so if it's like a 1,000 yen card, you pay 1,000 yen, or whatever, you know. Wait till this Revy figure gets shipped out from the States later this year with the tariff. I think I said a moment ago, I'm planning on getting some stuff from the States, actually probably like tonight I think I get paid. Because aren't the tariffs slightly under control at the moment before you know, the big old WW3 breaks out? But WW3 being W times 3, World Wide Web, of course. No, but I think for the most part they were starting to calm down, because wasn't it rendered illegal by the courts or something, so they kind of had to undo it, and just the greedy companies kept it. Which, you know, wouldn't surprise me. This figure was 900. Okay, never mind. I understand now. Oh, makes sense. Made a bit more drinks than I have. I am getting very thirsty. I don't know, what should we aim for? Should we... I mean, case in point, a lot of people weren't able to make it tonight. Should I cap the queue after this song? Oh, not this song, sorry, this set of songs. I think I'm going to do that. An hour and a half feels good for ASRT right now. With, like, just 3 people mainly. We'll come back to it another day when we can get way more people on, because like said, or like we said earlier, it's going to want to do more stuff like this in the run-ups to thingy anyway, what's it called? Cross Worlds. So, we'll be on it again, like, maybe in a few weeks or whatever, you know. I'm sure if they sold a Miku, you'd have it. I wouldn't. I'm not that desperate for that sort of stuff. Like, I've got a single Miku. Actually, no, I have a couple. Thinking about it, and like that's good by me. I'm not too into the huge statues or really even like figurines that much, honestly. Like, I've got a bit of a shelf, as you've seen before and other people have seen, but not like too huge into the collector's ones or anything like that. So yeah, not too fast personally. Oh, right, I need to pick a character. So why is no one else picking? Oh, wait, no, I'm the one not picking today. I'm just screwing about with random characters at this point. I remember always struggling with Shadow's handling, so I'm going to go the handling mod. So yeah, we've kept the queue off now, by the way, so request won't work. We'll do a couple more races, and we'll call it tonight. Plan is still Pokemon, presumably tomorrow, by the way, those of you who are here live. If you're not, it's probably already up on the VODs channel. That's the plan, at least tentatively. I know it's meant to be very warm again tomorrow, and see how we're feeling all about it, but that's at least the initial plan, because I probably won't do it on Thursday or Friday, so if I'm going to do it any day this week, it'll be tomorrow, basically. Whoops, screwed that up. Yeah, just so people are all in the loop with that one. Otherwise, got like a couple bits I want to do in the coming weeks on stream for sure. It's just scheduling them. Just curious what you're playing this on. PC. Unfortunately, we're pretty much getting to the end of the lobby, so the lobby is pretty much closed. But welcome anyway. I hope you're having a good one. We'll be playing this again in the future, like really soon. Probably within like a couple weeks from now. So feel free to like give me an ad on Steam or something if you want. As you can see from the bottom of the screen, it's absolutely like great. If you want to give me an ad to play again anytime in the future. But yeah, we're probably going to do like 1 or 2 more and then going to call it there. So Steam for future reference anyway. There you go. But welcome. That's... Even with the handling mod, I'm doing mostly okay, but still kind of crashing around corners a little bit, aren't I? Oh well. Good times. Hard times in this case. Oh, well, lack of hard times actually, but Sonic 3 prototype tracks, my beloved. No matter the form, unless it's Origins, I'll stand up for you basically. Can't lie. Is this slapping though? I feel like I heard the... Is this Act 2? I think I heard the Act 1 one when it came out. Great jump, unfortunately. Lack of distance and speed, but Act 2, very nice stuff. Yeah, like I said, Ultrafix mission mode should come at some point. At the very least, I want to play Ultrafix in the near future, because it's been a very long time since I played Sonic 3 in particular. It would have been whenever base Origins came out, so 3 years ago at this point, right? And only Classic I think I played more recently than that is CD, maybe? Even that would have been like 2 years, so for sure at this point, probably overdue a replay on all of them. So Ultrafix feels like a good excuse to do it in one sitting or whatever, right? Yeah, I'm sure, like, you say it's your ideal experience right now, which I'm aware means a lot considering how many competing standards of Sonic 3 there are, but, yeah, I don't know, like, I have grown to appreciate over the years why people would take the setting up 7 billion mods over convenience, because I absolutely do that with other games as well. So I grew to understand that a bit more, and just as I did that, then the Ultrafix came out and everyone was like, nah, actually this is probably the best way to play the game, and I was like, oh, okay. I was just getting ready to set up Sonic 3 with 1 billion mods, but if you say so. I don't know, I'm gonna have to give it a go at some point for sure. See what's happening over in the Ultrafix world, you know. Once again, my classic. Feels like a cheating transformation. So looks great with Mania's CRT filter. I forgot you can re-implement that using Hedgehog Manager, can't you? I'd never thought to do something like that. That would be fun. For the most part, I am a big sharp pixels guy, so I'm very glad they fixed that game's pixel scaling. I don't have to rely on mods to do it anymore. Now guys, now do it to Sonic Mania, please. Haha, please. I think Mania's is mostly fine, but it was never as bad as Origins was to begin with, but I feel like Mania could still use it. Oh, yeah, right. I remember. Okay, this isn't the song I was thinking of, but this is a good song. They remove the filter, do you mean modded into another game? I'm not quite sure. Do you mean a Lurie's message or something I was saying? I'm not quite following for a second. Too busy locking it, never mind. Now I'm getting all starred. I'm not getting my game on, that's all I can say. But I am playing. Being played by the game, but... Get him. Kill him. Wait, no, we won't be okay. I think I might have actually got him. No, so I think they just changed the filters in Origins versus what they were in Mania, so people just re-implemented the Mania ones back into Origins and they just look a bit better as a whole. Speaking of banging soundtrack, the Prodigy touring? Really? I didn't know that. To be honest, I kind of forgot they were still together, given, but fair play. Right. What's this still got? This has got one song with. Okay, it's got Family Guy CD after this, so I'm not in as much of a rush. We'll do one more race. So I guess pick the only one we not picked. Do the right thing. Well, yeah, that's it. And actually a bit of a local legend, so was a weird one locally, certainly. Right, make it count. Go ages. That's good though, at least. I'm glad to hear they're still carrying the torch and all that. Let's get a full race to appreciate the beauty of Family Guy CD. So let's make this a worthwhile one, guys. Maybe it's still on, or did I turn it off? I'm guessing I turned it off? Yeah, it's not responding to the power button, so I'm guessing I did do that at some point. Finally remembered. Switch basketball game got its price and release date shown. I didn't see the trailer. I saw the release date because it was in the name. How much is the price? That has a chance if it's £30 or below, so everything rests on the next message, doesn't it? Great. Just what I needed. 16. Oh, there you go. I'm guessing digital only by that logic then. That's a perfect price point for a tech demo. I say tech demo, it's a bit more interactive than something like... Oh, interactive's not the right word. Massport Game 8 or maybe a tech demo. It kind of is a little bit of a halfway. I'm sure people will say that should have been free as well, but I don't know, with stuff like online functionality and like a competitive aspect to it, I can see it having a bit more free play value inherently than something like Switch Welcome Tour, and therefore justifying like a 15 quid price range a little bit more. Like, that was like a similar indie product, I feel like I would pay 15 quid or whatever for it personally, but a lot of people don't feel the same about like certain games, vice versa, etc. ARMS 2, now you're talking. Is this actual Edgate? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like a cover, but it's got Sega Sound Team topic, so I'm guessing it is. Anyway, thank you for that great request, though. And I have one meme song. I did delete Scotland Forever, so it is true. I mean, it is a song by all intents and purposes, but it borders being called one, you know. So Family Guy just about covers the pact. Oops. I don't know how that counted, but this game's jank sometimes, so just let it happen. Allow it, basically. Allow it, I shall. And another swarm, because, of course. The Scots may rest today. They'll be brought back out soon. Don't you worry. Stand down, boys. Stand down. Man, the game's really not giving you guys anything to deal with me, is it? That's taking mercy on me very greatly. But how much Forces slaps? See? A fellow enjoyer of culture. Okay. There we go. Nice little fast for the pile. Mission failed, we'll get him next time. Mission succeeded, we'll get him next time. Okay, so we'll let this get back to the menu and we'll call this good hit. Feels like a bit of a short one, it definitely is, but still. Given not many people are able to join, given it's way later than I wanted to start. Still a beefy amount considering, basically. And 3 repeat tracks are just as well. Forces walks, the cyberspace could run. Fellow personal culture there. Anyways, thank you so much for joining. I'll be back next Monday. We'll be back on Mario Kart World as per, so any of you with shiny new Switch 2s to play with then can come and join me on the usual weekly online session of that. We just took a week break for Sonic's anniversary, so now we'll be all good to go on that one. Yeah, thanks for joining. Theme of Sticks, don't hear this one very often, by the way. Likely Pokemon tomorrow, as I said, so keep an eye out for that. I'll let you know, and you'll get a ping as to when that goes live. Thanks as well, Gabsy. Appreciate you. And yeah, join in Mario. There we go. I hear there's a Switch up for stealing. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Catch you all soon. Thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good one. Peace.